Hello everyone, welcome back to another session uh, about discussing mean, median, mode. We have a very good example here. It says to determine when a crop of cherries is ready to be picked, a sample is taken from each tree. This is a real life problem. It can happen in a farm or somewhere. 100 cherries are picked from each of 11 trees. 100 cherries are picked from each of 11 trees. The numbers of unripe cherries for each tree are 15, 3, 17, 23, 12, 18, 24, 15, 8, 15, 28, and 50. Okay, these are the numbers of unripe cherries for each tree. So we have this, and before a cherry crop will be picked, the mean or the average must be less than 8. Okay, that's the standard. Will this crop be picked? Yes or no? We want to answer the question. So the first thing we need to do is to calculate the mean or the average of this data set basically. So I have to add all of these data values and divide it by the number of data. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12 data values here. And you want to calculate x bar, which is the mean, as we have discussed before. So that's sigma x sub I over n as per the formula. And sigma x sub I means x1 plus x2 plus x3 up to x12 because we have 12 data values here. So I have to write 3 plus 8 plus 12 plus 15 plus all those numbers up to 50. And I took the liberty of sorting this data set beforehand. So this is the data set, but I sorted it from the least to the greatest, okay, for later on use. So if you add all the numbers up and you divide it by 12, because the number of data values is 12, we have to use a calculator, find the total, and see what we end up with. So if you add them all up in the numerator, add all these numbers up, I think you get 228 if I'm not mistaken. So 228 divided by 12, so that is going to give us 19. And that means that the mean of this data set is 19. Okay, so on average, there are 19 unripe cherries. Okay, and the question says, before a cherry crop will be picked, the mean must be less than 8. Okay, will this crop be picked? Yes or no? Well, we got 19, which is way larger than 8. So the answer is, unfortunately, no. We're going to say no. This crop will not be picked. Why? Because the mean we calculated was 19. It's supposed to be less than 8. So the answer is no. It was just an example of finding the mean of a data set. And now that we have the data sorted already, I'm trying to find the median of the data as well. So the median, is the middle value. So if you count them, there's 12 number of data values, and 12 is an even number, right? So if I take like 6 from the beginning of the data set and 6 from the end, like this, there's nothing left in between because I have even number of data values. So in these cases, we said what we do. We take the two middle values, in this case 15 and 17, sorry, and then we find the average of those two middle values. The average would be 16. So the median of this data set is 16, and the mean, we just found it earlier, it was 19. Mean and median are found, and regarding the mode is the most occurring data value. So when you sort the data, you quickly see that there is 3 15s back to back in the list, 15, 15, 15. And no other, data value is repeated 3 times. So we have one mode, and that mode is 15, obviously. So we're going to say the mode of the data set is 15. So median is 16, mode is 15, and the mean is 19. And this crop will not be picked because the mean was way more than 8 and it's against the standards. Now that we talked about this example, real life example, I want to take this opportunity and very quickly show you what range is. I know that range is not one of the 3 measures of central tendency. It actually belongs to the measure of spread of data or dispersion. It shows how the data is spread over its values. But the range is very easy. I can right away talk about it. It's the difference simply between the least and the greatest value. So if you grab the greatest value, subtract the least value from it, that will be the range. So right now here, we know that the least value is 3 and the greatest value is 50. So I'm going to say range, okay, equals greatest value minus smallest or least value, okay, smallest or least value. So in this case, we have 50, take away 3, that will be 47. So that means that the range of this data set is 47. Okay, so we have learned mean, median, mode, and we just learned range. We only need to learn about 3 more, and that's interquartile range, standard deviation, and variance. And then we'll be done with all of these statistical measures. Okay, I hope you're going to study and you're going to practice enough. And before I forget, I should actually mention this in every single lecture, that you have to watch these videos at least 2 or 3 times. That's the minimum. So if you think by watching these lectures only once, you are going to 100% master everything, you are wrong. You should not be doing that. You should be watching these videos at least twice or 3 times. That's the minimum. If you watch it 4 times, that will be even better, And you have to pause the lecture. You have to rewind it. You have to make a note in your notebook and then play again so that you learn. I know that the length of these videos are about short, but the information is very condensed. So it should take you like 1 hour or 1.5 hours to fully understand what's going on in a 15-minute lecture, for example. Okay? Keep practicing, and thank you.